today is the day that we've been waiting for all summer. I say all summer, but it's just kicking in. This is the day that we're going to take off from what we're calling the Heartland Revival Tour, where we're going to take off here from Greensboro, North Carolina, and our destination is Waterville, Minnesota, and Camp Dells is that final destination. It's a 17-hour trip. It's 1,142 miles that we are going to break up to go from here to London, Kentucky, because we're going to stop at Day Brothers RV for them to do some light maintenance work, and then from there we're going to Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, going to stop at a Love's RV stop, which is going to be the first time that we've ever stayed at one of those, and then on to our final destination in Waterville, Minnesota. But before we can even get to all that, as you guys know, there is a ton of prep work. So, Chris, what are you going to prep?
Yeah, well, actually, there's a lot of firsts, too, because Ryder's right here below me, and it's going to be Ryder's first long-haul trip in our coach. So that's going to be interesting just to see how he acclimates. The farthest he's gone is to the gas station. But yeah, we've got to get the Jeep hooked up, which will be our first time doing it, because the last time we did it was when we left Day Brothers back in March.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, we're taking our bikes, which in the past we've had a toy hauler, so our bikes were always in the camper. So this time they're going to be on the rack on the back of the Jeep. So lots of firsts for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun trip. It's going to be awesome. Also, before we take off, we've decided, because of all the trees that we're under, we're going to blow off the top of the coach before we take off, because we don't want any sticks or whatever else is up there blowing off, hitting the Jeep or anybody else's for that matter. So we're going to start off with that. The bike rack, we've got that, good to go. We did that the night before, but we're going to show you guys a little bit of prep work on that. Chris had a great idea. Tell them the idea for the bike rack.
Well, I can't take full credit. I actually was on one of the Newmar sites, and I saw somebody suggested using a cargo net over your bike cover. And we had the cover. I knew we were going to use some tie downs to kind of secure that, but someone had recommended using a cargo net. And so I was able to order one before our trip. And boy, let me tell you, that looks like things are going to be very secure back there.
Awesome. So we can't wait to try that. We'll keep you posted on all that. And of course, you guys know, when you take off on an RV road trip, you never know what to expect. So
it's always an adventure.
It's been hot and humid in North Carolina.
So
Pop-up thunderstorms seem happening all the time. It seems like as we go north and a little bit west, that's kind of the pattern that we're going to see. So hopefully we're not going to run into any super bad weather and everything will go smooth. So thank you for tuning in and watching today, and join us on this amazing tour that we're getting ready to take. And I think we should get to it. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we just got to Day Brothers at like 1 o'clock in the morning. We are exhausted and so ready for bed. Tell if you're back far enough to reach. Oh, the wheels stop right there. Ah, okay. Reach that. Okay. Okay, come here, buddy.
Okay, so I know we just look fresh and handsome and beautiful.
We're like wiped out, sweaty, and tired.
Yeah, really, you know, my hat should really be like this after the day that we've had. It's just been, oh my gosh. We took off. We had a lot of firsts today.
Yeah.
And, you know, for us, towing, you know, flat towing something or pulling a toad, it's new to us. So it's actually the first time that we had to hook it up, because I watched them do it when we purchased it at Day Brothers, but it was our first time doing it. So of course it takes a little more time when you're doing it, and so it did take us a little bit more time, and then it poured rain.
Not just poured, like it was like sideways, upside down, all over the place. Like literally, Ryder and I had to stand under cover because I mean it was just it was like a shower. So that was about another half an hour delay right there.
And hot, oh my gosh.
It was so hot and so humid. And Ryder's right now telling us he wants to go outside. He's like, I've been trapped in that RV for 8 hours. Get me out of here.
So it's been a day. I mean, we're talking to you guys now, and it is 2:19 a.m. And Krista's going to let Ryder out. And but boy, traffic wasn't too bad, but we hit some constant rain on and off, and then just for
traffic was bad.
Well, wait, I was just getting to that. Okay. And then just, you know, oh my gosh, it's RV life. You know, you just never know. But there was construction going on, and we had about an hour's worth of backed up traffic in Tennessee. Really close to the Sevierville exit, and we crawled.
Yeah, 3 lanes down to 1 lane, and it was bad. It was mostly stop and a little bit of go.
What did you think of the highways? Let's talk about Tennessee.
Yeah.
In particular, northern Tennessee, around the Cumberland
Gap. Yeah. Hold on to your seat, that's all I'm saying.
It kept us awake. We thought we were in the Wild Wild West.
But I have to say, it was improved from the last time that we came, when we came.
A section of it.
A section of it, yeah. They were doing construction on it when we came to pick up our RV back in, what was it, February? And so there was definitely some improvement, but it was, yeah. I mean, talk about ba-dump, 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 ba-dump.
And let's talk about that tile right there.
Yeah.
That tile.
Well, first off, we didn't realize that, so we get heading to the gas station, and the pantry just flies open. And apparently, Michael turned off the RV, and so it resets the lock or something like that, so everything flew out. And then, for some reason, the lock on our refrigerator decided that it wasn't going to work, so then the refrigerator came open.
You guys have had that happen?
I was like, no. We had to get a bungee cord to get that sorted out. And then this big giant tile right above the passenger seat fell right on top of me as we were driving down the road.
So we had to pull over.
Right. Oh, but so it's hanging. I wish I had a video of it, because we were obviously driving at the time, and it had wires hanging all over, so I was trying to hold it up so it didn't disconnect any of the wires. And then Michael wants to pull over on the freeway to take care of it, and I'm thinking, if we pull over on the freeway, we're never going to get back on the freeway if we pull off.
But I got skills.
Yeah, so we ended up pulling off on the freeway, but it was another freeway feeder that actually,
oh man,
yeah, there was a little, yeah, it was safe in that particular scenario. So
needless to say, we're tired.
Yeah,
we're very tired, but we thought, hey, before we finally hit,
but then to top it off,
there's more.
There's more. So okay, so Ryder, our dog, this is his first long trip. I mean, aside from going to the gas station, this is his first long trip with us. So he decided, he got a little nervous. He backed up next to Michael's chair, and the next thing, Michael's chair was going front and back and up
carnival
and down. And he was like glued to it. So I'm like literally having to peel him off Michael's chair because it's moving all over the place. So
it was a fun day.
It was, yeah,
we
it was
survived.
Definitely a memorable day, to say the least.
Okay, we need to go to bed.
We definitely need to go to bed. Okay, so we are at RV Day Brothers, and we are in London, Kentucky. Michael's actually out talking to the guys, and we are having some work done on our camper. So we started off our trip from North Carolina. First stop, London, Kentucky. the first few hours on the road were really hard, but we made it. We made it safely, all in one piece. And so we're here spending the night in London, and they're gonna do some things to our RV. We've had problems with our SantaCon since we actually purchased it. It's never worked, and just a few other small things. So we're looking forward to getting those things taken care of. And it's great that they actually have a campground here now that they have their customers stay on when they're working on their rigs. So that worked out really well. So in February, Michael and I drove over from North Carolina to London, Kentucky for the first time. I'd never heard of it, never been to London, Kentucky before, and we came over for a very happy reason, which was to buy our Class A RV. And when we were here, we ended up getting stuck a little longer than we'd anticipated.
Terrible weather?
Because of terrible weather. And then fast forward to May, we'd met everybody we'd encountered here was so friendly and loving, and we definitely enjoyed our stay. But then fast forward to May, London, Kentucky was hit by an EF4 tornado that devastated this town. And as you can see behind us in some of the footage that Michael will show, that there were 18 deaths in this neighborhood here alone.
Yeah, and as you can see by that old Fleetwood RV, behind us, it's another reason and another reminder that when the weathermen say, get cover, get out of your RV, you can see what can happen. It's not good. It's you realize, when you see this stuff behind you, it's one thing to see it on TV, but when you hear boots on the ground, just how devastating it can be to all the families and all the lives. And our prayers go out to all those families and all those lives who were lost here. I know that they're in the rebuilding process here, and it looks like they're making a lot of progress. But we were just driving actually to go get lunch, and we saw this. And
well, just to back up a little bit, we had to come back to London. We're headed up to see family in Minnesota, but we made a pit stop here to have some work done on our RV at Day Brothers RV, which was what brought us back to London.
Yeah, so here we are, and we just happened to see this going to get lunch, and we're like, oh my gosh. We were watching, even as the storms were coming, we were watching that night, and we were reaching out to Anthony at Day Brothers and texting him to make sure he's okay, and we were wondering how the dealership would be. So yeah, they're all moving forward here and rebuilding, but we just had to stop, and this just is a great reminder for all of us who full-time RV or those even weekend warriors. You know, when you hear that there's inclement weather, I think is what they call it, you need to run for cover. You don't want to stay in your RV.
So what you just saw was barely scratched the surface of what these folks here in London endured through that tornado. And you know, it makes you realize when you see something like that, you know, how much you do have to be grateful for, and just recognizing that each day matters, and you just can't take things for granted. But our hearts and our prayers will continue to go out to the folks of London, Kentucky.
Yeah, and just like London, Kentucky, you know, tomorrow is a new day. It's a new day for London, Kentucky, new beginnings, and tomorrow is a new day for us as we take off and leave this awesome city here at London, Kentucky, and head to Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. So we'll see if there's anything normal about Normal, Illinois, and Chris and I are going to experience our first time staying at a Love's RV stop. So where is the love? I don't know. We're going to see if there's love at Love's RV stop in Normal, Illinois. And with that, we say God bless
and safe travels.